A daring diamond heist at NAMDIA on Saturday shook Namibia's diamond industry and putting security measures under the microscope. The robbery also cost a protection officer his life, and another suspect, Max Endjala, died from self-inflicted wounds. Today, all eyes were on the courtroom as one of the suspects, Joel Angula, made his first court appearance. Joining us on the line is NBC reporter Emil Seibeb, who has been following this story closely. Emil, welcome to the program.
Thank you, Selima, for having me, and good evening to the viewers.
Emil, I know you've been following the case and also just since it happened on Saturday. Briefly, just tell us, with the timeline, can you walk us through what happened since Saturday night up until now?
Well, Selima, Saturday around past 8 o'clock, we got a notification that there was an active robbery at the NAMDIA office. And of course, as people who are there to deliver news, we rushed there. And when we arrived, it was a bus of police officers, security members from other security clusters, and of course paramedics were on the scene just for us to learn that there was a shootout between the security guards and private security guards and the suspected robbers. The police then later, during the same night, informed us that there was a robbery at the NAMDIA, and 4 suspects were involved. That was the initial report that the police then said are released. From the 4 suspects, the police said that one suspect turned the gun on him when the police closed in and shot himself. He died later at the hospital. That was the report that was released on Saturday. We later learned that another suspect was also injured by the police and then taken to a Windhoek hospital and is currently still in hospital. Now, the information available and the fact is that the deceased has been identified as Max Endjala. He was heading the forensics unit at Trustco, and then the second suspect is a former soldier of the Namibian Defence Force, Sam Shololo, who is now recovering in a Windhoek hospital. Now, also, the senior protection officer at NAMDIA has been shot. Unfortunately, he lost his life during the robbery. I tried reaching out to the family today to find out how the arrangements are, just to inform the public, because the public has indeed been shocked by this tragic incident. Now, what is still outstanding is, I don't want to use the word tight-lipped, but I want to use the word probably careful, is that NAMDIA and the police have not given the quantity and the value of the diamonds that has been stolen. We are trying to push to get some of the details from the CEO, Alisa Amupolo. We are trying to get confirmation. I've been speaking to the Deputy Inspector General of NAMPOL, Major General Elias Mutota, to understand what exactly is the figure, what is the value of the diamonds that were stolen, how much or how many diamonds were then stolen. You must remember, the first time NAMDEP said it was an attempted robbery, they later retracted that statement and then said it is a robbery. So that means that diamonds are gone. Now, I don't want to report on a lot of hearsay and speculation, but then word from sources is that the police have studied the footage of NAMDIA, and they don't see 2 suspects that got away. They only see who they have in custody, and then the deceased. So the question then that begs to be answered is, now, where are the diamonds? Who went away with the diamonds? Who got away with the diamonds? But that, as I said, is speculation, it's hearsay. I spoke to the public relations officer of NAMDIA, Beverly Consignment, today, trying to establish a profile of Joel Nangolo. The second suspect who was arrested, who is also Joel Angula, I beg your pardon, who was also arrested on Sunday, who is allegedly related to the deceased Max Endjala, to try and build the profile. How long has he been working at NAMDIA? What is his CV? Where has he worked before? She asked me to put those questions on hold until the press conference tomorrow. Mm-hmm. Now, she used the word tomorrow, so we are anticipating that the press conference will be there, because there are a lot of questions that need answers, And the police chief had initially informed the NBC that the press conference was going to be today, but the police then later said again, we will be informed of the press conference in due course. So we are hoping, because when I spoke to Beverly about trying to build the profile of Joel, she did say in a reply that, can we hold these questions until tomorrow? So Joel Angula appeared today, a very brief appearance. He is charged with murder. He is charged with 2 counts of attempted murder. I asked one of the prosecutors, why attempted murder? Because the initial understanding was he was not at the premises. And then a source then told me that he stabbed someone that amounts to attempted murder. Then he was charged with robbery of aggravating circumstances, and he's charged with illegally carrying uncut rough diamonds.
Yeah, Emil. So the security at NAMDIA is supposed to be tight. Do you know yet as to how the suspects managed to get in the building?
The release by the police that was under correction either on Sunday or Saturday said that both NAMDIA and the police are yet to ascertain how the suspects entered. Mm-hmm. So right now we don't know. But I have been to NAMDIA. I can say that there is one entrance that is used for entry and exit. So there is no sign of a break-in. So those questions are hopefully going to be answered should the press conference take place tomorrow.
And also the press conference was supposed to happen today, if I'm not mistaken. Is there assurance that the press conference will definitely happen tomorrow?
But, NAMDIA is responsible for quite a fraction of our GDP. It's $1 billion company. And they need to be very, very careful and accurate with their statistics when they give out. So I think what is taking or what is dragging, this is just my personal thinking, is the fact that they have to count, they have to be very vigorous and rigorous and make sure that every rock, every carat is accounted for. So I think that is the hold up. But I cannot say for certainty that the press conference will be today, tomorrow. But like I said, in my communication with the spokesperson, she asked me to hold some questions, hold the questions that I put for her until the press conference tomorrow. So I did not follow up on her if the press conference tomorrow. So I cannot with certainty say that the press conference will take place tomorrow. But like I said, the media is burning with questions.
Of course.
We have so many questions that need to be answered because the media has been inside the building and we know sort of like the layout of how the building looks like. So it would be nice if they could also paint for us where exactly did these shootings take place.
Indeed, of course, this will also just avoid speculations and the figures that have been going around that are in court. Everybody has their own figure, like you mentioned earlier, in terms of not having the assurance or knowing how much the figure is. Perhaps just talking about today as well, the Joel Angula appeared in court. What evidence did the prosecution present against him?
Well, today was not basically a court case. Today was his first appearance where he was being formally charged. The charges were read out to him. He was not even asked to plead. His defense team informed the judge that they will be bringing a formal application later during the during the time, but his case is then postponed to May 23rd, pending further investigations. And Sam, the co-accused, the moment he gets better and fit to appear in court, they both are facing similar charges. Just going back to what you said about different media reporting different figures, I think that is in the absence of the authorities not speaking or not making clear what the figures are. Because remember, this is the biggest diamond heist and that Namibia has ever seen. I don't know whether there has been a diamond heist reported on before. It's not the only one. So journalists would normally call sources. I mean, if you try the CEO or the spokesperson, you might go to the next source, and depending on where this person works in the company and how much access they have to this, they might just give you a figure, you know. So I think that the media reports are balanced, and they have spoken to various sources that then gave these figures.
And Emil, in the case has now been postponed, talking about the case of Angula now, to May 23rd, which is this year. Why that date, and what's the significance of the delay?
The charges that he faces is quite severe, and this is, like the prosecution team pointed out, it is a very, very high public interest. And whatever evidence needs to be put on or put forward to the presiding magistrate or judge would then it has to be solid, I assume, from the prosecutor. So I don't think there is any significance to that date. I think it's the availability of the presiding magistrate. I think it's for the police to gather as much evidence as they are, as they have, ensure that that evidence is sound and can be presented in court, and then just get their story in order before they then say we are ready for trial.
And finally, what's next in the legal process for both Joel and Angula, and for Joel Angula and also Sam Shololo, the other suspects who's currently in the hospital?
Well, as a lay legal person, I would say, I mean, these processes, I don't think this matter is going to round up in the next month or two. Tomorrow we will hear whether there are additional suspects, where they indeed.
All right. It appears we lost Emil. We'll try to get him back another time. He has been following the case closely, and he will be giving us more updates on the case. We'll be back after this short break.